The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this show is designed for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. Any questions whatsoever during the program, the phone number will be right here on the screen, 407-205-0400. Super excited about this show today, but first, the opening statement. I have never in my career had more people come up to me after selling their house and ask me a very important question. Justin, I'm flush with cash. What do I do with the money? We're going to answer that question. Also, my own house needed a new roof, needed it badly. What did I do and how did I save money? Another great question, and questions that we answer by asking real questions. Every Saturday here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's community. Kick it off today with our good buddy, the CEO of Fortress Wealth Group, John Ledford is here. John, how are you, sir?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
It's a good problem to have. Maybe it's not a problem at all.
Sure.
This real estate market has skyrocketed over the last two and a half years.
Sure.
And people have more cash now sitting around than they've really ever had, but they don't know what to do with it, John,
Sure.
because you take money out and you have to go buy another house. Those prices are high too. So it's a question that we're trying to answer, because sometimes the answer might not be buy a new house right
Sure.
now. People flush with cash. What do they do?
Yeah, we all have recency bias and we all have bias relative to what we know. And oftentimes when that thing, whether it's real estate or whatever, is no longer the thing, people don't know what to do. And so you get that question every day, I get that question every day. I think one of the most important things you can do is, first of all, be open-minded, but sit down with a trusted professional and ask the question, or let them ask you the questions. What do your assets look like? Was this just one asset, or was this your only asset that you just cashed in?
Right.
Answer to that's going to really inform what to do next. Do you have other real estate? Do you have other cash? Do you have other businesses? Do you have other traditional paper investments? What do you have? What does it look like? What are your income needs? What are your goals? What's your tolerance for risk? All those type things that we do and most advisors do in an initial interview, I think are super important. So I think, first of all, let's understand what you have and what you expect from it. Second of all, let's do a risk tolerance analysis to find out. We've talked before about if we're hopping in the car, are we driving in the fast lane or the slow lane? A lot of times that's indicative of someone's investment tolerance as well. But let's find out what your investment tolerance is. And once we know what do you look like, what's your tolerance for risk, and what do you want to accomplish, we can then go into the landscape of business to real estate to stocks, bonds, and everything else and try and figure out how do we put this together in a way that's going to serve you correctly.
Yeah, John has helped so many of you, and I have a QR code on the screen right now which will direct you directly to John. And this is a free consultation with, really, when it comes to investment advisors, certified financial planners, there's no one better. And I know that because I hear from you. I hear from those of you that have talked to John, and you're always saying thank you to me. So that's why I know John is the best. And also just talking to him on the show, that his intelligence level is really the full package. And that's what he's going to look at for you, is the totality of your circumstance, because everyone is a little bit different, John. And another question I hear a lot is, at what point, like how much money do I need to have in the bank before I even start looking at investments? How do you answer that?
Yeah, again, I think it's different for everyone. There are no reliable rules of thumb. Everyone's slightly different. And then you also look at if you've got some money in the bank and some money in investment. If it's a smaller investment, by the time you work through it, is it really enough? Does it really make sense? Again, I default to, if you're working with a great advisor, they can help you steer through that. I was in a meeting this morning and we were talking about a new tool that we just unveiled a couple of months ago. It's called Fortress Click. The name I like, my wife created the name, but it's designed for do-it-yourself investors to connect with our firm, but to do it at their own pace, at their own speed, a fully digital experience.
Right.
Super quick onboard, as small as $10,000, and you can access world-class private investment management through our virtual, digital-only platform. And so we're finding that's a place for people to dip their toe into the investment waters, and if it's new to them, we're finding a lot of people taking advantage of that. Again, I grew up in a house of do-it-yourselfers. My dad was an engineer, but he did everything himself. He'd have built our house if you let him and give him enough time. He just did everything. His world was the antithesis to my world, where we hire everyone to do stuff that we need. I'm a big fan of, just like I hire a pool guy and a lawn guy and the other stuff, hire a financial guy to help you steer through the process.
It's really a no-brainer, and a no-brainer to call you as well. And there's so many nuances when it comes to tax strategies also, but what I've seen is that people who have sold their house over the last couple of years a lot of times have been stuck with the tax burden as well.
Yeah.
When is the right time? If I'm thinking about selling, when is the right time to reach out to you? Is it before the sale even happens?
Yeah, definitely sooner rather than later. And oftentimes we can structure a sale, whether it's commercial or even residential. We can structure a sale where there's no tax due on sale. Sometimes that's a deferral, sometimes that's a minimization, sometimes that's an elimination of taxes due. And so we can do those things pre-sale, but we can't do them post-sale.
Right.
And so post-sale, you can't go back. There are some techniques that are available on the commercial side up to 180 days after, but the best planning happens before a transaction.
I mean, if you're thinking about selling your house or your business, or know that you're going to have an influx of cash, you need to talk to John before those events, those triggering events happen, because you can really plan and save money on taxes. And I've talked to so many people that you've worked with, and you're not just focused on a 7% gain in the market. You really do focus on how to save money with these tax strategies as part of the investment portfolio as well.
Absolutely. We don't look at it as a maybe, and we don't look at it as a sideline. We look at it as a core part of someone's wealth building process, wealth accumulation, wealth distribution. So we're going to look at the investment portfolio, the risk analysis I mentioned. We're going to look at their tax picture and find ways to reduce their taxes. We're going to look at their insurance. We're going to look at their estate plan. We leave no stone uncovered. And some people are an all-in solution. Some people are, like I said earlier, one toe at a time solution. But from our standpoint, we're available to do all those things and just want to help people control their own capital and make the best decisions.
And the smartest guy in the financial world, but also cool as hell too.
Thanks,
John,
man.
great to see you. Great
You as well.
person. Any questions about financial issues whatsoever, the QR code is here, or call me and I will direct you to John, 407-205-0400. And bad news for me, I needed a new roof, true story. Yes. And I knew exactly what to do. Universal Roof and Contracting are the best, so I knew to call them, but they also gave me some advice on how to save money on this roof replacement. I'll have them tell you about that after this quick break, as You Have Real Estate continues. And here we are at Casa Leone Jewelers. I'm wearing my beautiful watch from here. You have a necklace, earrings.
And a ring.
And a ring. Oh, wow. You're
Michael M.
And we buy all of our jewelry here at
do.
Casa Leone, and we do so because of trust. They've been doing this since 1946, Michaela, and it takes a lot of trust to be able to stay in business that long. Proud to be joined by the owner of Casa Leone. Renee is here. Renee, how important is your client's trust to you?
It is extremely important. And this is something that we have worked very, very hard to achieve and to gain loyalty from our customers.
I see all of these five-star reviews everywhere. It's pretty amazing. Tons of reviews.
That's because we do protect our name and our reputation extremely well.
Yeah. You do a little bit of everything here, it seems. You have wedding jewelry, you've got engagement rings, wedding rings, watches, but you permanent jewelry is pretty exciting.
I stole your thunder, sorry.
You did, I know.
Sorry.
I don't know if I like that or not. But you do custom jewelry here as well.
We do. We have our studio, and we have Pedro on a computer. He can design just about anything you can think of. And we have a machine that $55,000 machine that'll create any wax that we want to cast on.
He's done it for my mom.
I know, so, she loved it too.
Yeah, that's good.
Doing a great job here, obviously. We will always continue to shop here. I put a QR code on the screen right now. Take your phone out, scan it, and do yourself a favor. Visit Casa Leone Jewelers today. Well, I finally went through it myself. After many years, it was time for a new roof. My roof was leaking. It was just time. You knew it was time. And this is not a sales pitch. I knew exactly who to call. I've talked to these guys many, many times on this air And thank goodness I did for my new roof, Universal Roof and Contracting. Justin's here. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. How you doing?
Cory's here. How's it going?
Good to be back.
And if you haven't noticed, I represent you so much that every time I play pickleball, I always take a picture. Well, Elisha Lehman takes a picture, and I'm always wearing my Universal hat. Because I love you guys.
We appreciate it.
I do see it.
And I knew exactly who to call for my roof. The process has been super, super smooth. Who's more involved in that one? You?
We tag team that one.
We went together, yeah.
Everything we talk about on this air is exactly how it went down. You made it so easy. How do you make that process so easy when some roofing companies make it so difficult?
I mean, they overcomplicate things. I mean, we've had a patented system for the last 30 years, especially when you navigate it through insurance. There's so many moving parts. There's so many things that can go sideways, and not every contractor is set up that way. We have such an efficient system and an internal office that just backs everything up, makes it super simple for us, super simple for you. But basically everything we set as an expectation on the front end, we're saying that because we're actually going to follow through with it. So we don't just throw empty promises out there. We're going to follow through with everything and make sure the experience you have on the back end is exactly how we pitched it on the front end.
Yeah, and by all means, if your roof is leaky or it's just been there for many years, the QR code on the screen right now will connect you directly with Justin and Cory. And don't feel free to have them come out. Even if you don't know if you need a new roof, maybe you do, maybe you don't, have them come out. This insurance thing is scary for people too. They don't know who to call, they don't know what to do. You held our hands through that process. And look, I'm a lawyer, and I've done this show for a long time. I kind of know, but I was still even scared to have the insurance company come out. How does this work? You hold the hands of your customers through that process, which can be difficult. How do you do it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we don't drag people down that road unless they really need it.
Yeah.
And then if they do, it's really easy because we're just telling the truth. They actually have storm damage on their house. We're happy to meet an adjuster there and point out what we see on the roof and go the length of that distance to help prove the fact that the roof was damaged by a storm. Yeah. And then like Justin just mentioned, we have this great process where we just keep it really simple and really by the book, and we do what the insurance company wants to do as well by matching them and making sure the homeowner understands their responsibility. But it's a formula, really. It's very by the book, it's very simple. And if we don't try to overcomplicate things or get greedy or any of those kind of things, it works very well. And it's been doing that for 30 years.
How do I know it's time?
Yeah.
How do I know it's time to have you come out? Do I see a little thing? Is it just because it's been 20 years? How do I know the time is right?
I think there's a point to where you should start to get maybe annual or biannual inspections of your roof, especially because we do get hit with pretty solid storms once or twice a year, it seems. Typically around, what do you think, the 12 to 15 year mark, depending on how your house is, arranged and protected by trees or other houses, or if you're off of a lake. Sometimes houses, the roof degrades a little faster, sometimes they last a little bit longer, but you don't get on your roof. And that's probably good, right?
Yeah.
So have us come out and do it because it costs absolutely nothing. And so if you start to see those granules in your driveway, in your gutters, by all means, if you see a brown spot in the ceiling or a shingle laying in the yard, that's textbook reasons to call right away. But annual inspections, once you start to get up in age, they're free, and I think they're necessary.
Yeah,
so.
These guys won't charge you a penny. If you feel like maybe your roof is getting old and you want to see, you know how many times they've been up on a roof and seen that there was storm damage there and insurance did kick in? There's no reason to not have them come out, and they'd be happy to do it for you. 407-205-0400 or the QR code right here on the screen. Justin, before the show, though, you were telling me as well about a new program that has really helped some of your customers as well called My Safe Florida program. Yeah. What is that about?
So it's a state-funded grant that was put together after Hurricane Ian and Hurricane Nicole from last year. And basically what it is once you are impacted by a storm and you need a new roof, they will send out their own inspector to see if you qualify. And so you have to apply first. What they will do, though, is once you get the job done and completed, they will match every dollar that you spend towards your project. They will match it by $2.
Really?
They will cap it at $10,000, so it's good for repairs or it's good for total roof replacements. But there are a couple things you have to take into consideration. One is you have to have the work done by an approved vendor through this program, which Universal Roof and Contracting proudly are. and you have to build the roof to a certain criteria. You have to use architectural shingles. You have to use a secondary self-adhering water barrier, things like that we're really savvy on to keep your eligibility active so that on the back end, once you've completed everything, paid all the balances, inspected, passed, you'll get this big grant kickback on the backside of your job, which really is helping a ton of people.
Yeah, and you are helping a ton of people because, again, I hear from our audience who hires you, and they're always so thrilled. That's why I know you're doing such a great job. And now I am your own, I'm your customer now. I love it.
Great.
The only thing I am disappointed in you two just a little bit, and two things actually. Number one, you've threatened to play pickleball with us occasionally on Sundays. Haven't done that yet. I've been wearing my universal roof hat every time.
That's his fault. That's not my fault.
And number two is I feel like I haven't seen, it's been a while since I've seen you, okay? I love having you on the shows. Legitimately love having you. Come back more often.
Will do. Appreciate that.
Deal?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Any questions about roofs? These two are your guys, Universal Roof and Contracting. A very quick break. What's on the market right now? We'll show you some awesome listings. Also, we'll talk about new homes. Should you buy a house in one of these new communities that you see popping up everywhere in Central Florida? Quick break. You have Real Estate Continues. I bought a new house the other day. I was so excited. I could not wait to move in, and I did move in. Bad thing happened though. Oh. 2 days later, the air conditioning unit totally went out. I was shocked. I spent all this money on the house already.
Dang.
Now I have to replace the air conditioning unit. It was terrible. But then I remember we had Old Ash on the show. Remember them?
Yes. How could I forget?
They were talking about Duquesne and Duquesne air conditioning units. I had never really heard of Duquesne before in the air conditioning world, but I said I need to figure out more about Duquesne. Thank goodness I did.
Yeah, Duquesne's awesome. Duquesne offers you an award-winning product instead of being a simple air conditioner. This brand is designed to bring comfort to your home no matter how hot it is outside. And let's be honest, in Florida, it gets hot.
It was hot in my house.
I'm sure. When I think Duquesne, I know I chose a quality product. It has durability, energy efficiency, energy savings, and a ton of value for my hard-earned money. Duquesne's OmniGuard Total Corrosion Protection technology protects your unit from deterioration. If you're looking to invest in your home,
like
this
I
product,
did. Like I did. I mean, I was investing in my home, of course.
Great. Well, this product is for you.
And I would recommend if you're investing in your own home, tell your contractor today to ask for Duquesne. What is on the market right now? What are prices like? And a question a lot of you have asked me is, should you buy a new home, a new construction home? These are really great questions. Two people here to answer them. Vivian Lehman. Hi, Vivian. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Good. Mike Jackson, welcome back. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
So, Mike, you are now working for a developer, so to speak. You know, you drive down the highway, you see the flags, the new signs, brand new house. What are some of the benefits of buying a new home?
Oh, tons of benefits. You get a lot of incentives. A lot of builders, various builders are buying down rates, points for people, so that way the interest rates right now could be 7-8%. They can buy them down to 5.9. They'll give you closing costs if you use a preferred lender. So a lot of people want to have problems with out-of-pocket costs. You know, the builder's lender can help with that. So there's tons of incentives.
Now, if you're working with a buyer's agent, you can still use that buyer's agent to go look at these new homes, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So buyer's agents play a pivotal role because they do help in the transaction process. It's similar to resale, how a buyer works with the listing agent. Only this time you'll be working with the builder and the sales rep. So everybody works as a collective team to be able to get to closing, because there are some barriers that, you know, new construction can present different than a resale with the length of time being built.
As you get more ingrained with this new challenge in your life, not challenge, but a new opportunity in your life, come back more and let's talk about these new homes. And we'll talk more about who you're working for and all that too.
Absolutely.
And Vivian, you've helped a lot of people with new homes as well. It doesn't cost your client any extra money to use their own agent as you go look at the new homes, correct?
Most of the builders offer the incentive to the agent and pays their commission when they bring the buyer in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're working with the buyer's agent, I highly recommend that you take them to the property with you or use them as your agent, because it's not going to cost you any additional money. But you have some houses that have been around a little while here that are fantastic that you have listed right now. Let's roll through these, and I like we have a little bit of different locations here. Altamont Springs, Seminole County. Tell me about Wooding Place.
So Wooding Place is a resale. This is a cool house that's located right off, it's in Altamont, but it's adjacent to Maitland.
Okay.
And this home, they have it at $475. It's a 4.2. It has a new roof. It has an open pool with pavers. A little bit of updating on the house is needed, but we've got it priced phenomenally.
I mean, the cool thing about having a new roof, though, is you spend that 25 grand not on the roof because it's fine. Spend it on the update, and you can make a lot of adjustments, a lot of improvements with 25 grand.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of the houses that I am showing have a new roof, or it's going to have a new roof, and that's a big deal with insurance right now.
It really, really is. Now, beautiful Mount Dora, a city I haven't been to in a while. I need to go check out Mount Dora. It's been a minute.
Yeah, this is a great location. It's in a community that has new build also. It's called Summerbrook, and this one they're asking $449,900. It's a 4.2, also 2,165 square feet. This one they're getting the new roof put on next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that'll have a new roof as well.
Yeah, it has a water softener too, and the solar panels.
Oh,
so this is an excellent find.
And finally, over to Palm Bay.
Yeah, in Palm Bay, this one. They're asking $294,500. It's a 4.2. It's about 1,200 square feet. It's on the smaller side, but it's right off of Malabar. Excellent place.
Any questions about these properties? You want to see these properties right now, Vivian will be happy to show them to you. 407-205-0400. When you have these talks with your clients in the past about buying is it resale? Why am I struggling? What do you call it?
A resale?
A resale home versus new construction. What are some of the things that you have? What are some things that go into that conversation?
Yeah, great question. So there's a lot of information that a lot of people grab from social media, for example, and as a realtor, our job is to educate the public. So when it comes to the resale market, a lot of people assume that all resale will automatically be cheaper than new homes. There are occasions where it could vary. A resale home, a lot of advantages are that it's a lot closer to proximity if someone wants to live in a city. You're not having to drive further out. You're probably closer to established communities and things surrounding it like shopping centers, airports, versus a new home. You might have to commute a little further depending on what area you're in, but you are getting more up-to-date energy efficiency, technology, helping to save on costs across the board, and you're getting a brand new product. You know, you don't have to worry about a previous seller who might have not taken care of the home. With warranties, yeah. A lot of warranties, yeah.
Awesome. Mike Jackson, good to see you, man. Come back and see you soon. Vivian Lehman, always a great job. Thank you. Very quick break. When we return, do you feel priced out of the Central Florida market? There's a little city called Ocala just to our north that's beautiful. People are nice, and it's way less expensive. I'll tell you about that as You Have Real Estate continues. If you own a home, listen up, please. You talk about your roof, you talk about your air conditioning unit. What you're missing the boat on right now are your windows. So happy to be joined by Chelsea Zerpola. She is with Renewal by Andersen. Chelsea, always a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
As well, Justin. Great.
I can think of so many reasons for homeowners to replace their windows, but when I think of safety comes first to me. Why are the new windows so important to the safety of your home and your family?
You know, we're really finding that the world is a little bit crazy, right? So oftentimes the windows that we had that are maybe 15, 20 years old, they're inoperable. So if you had to get out for a fire, oftentimes you can't. But also we're seeing that people are wanting to opt into coastal impact windows for safety purposes, for deterrence of break-ins. It's crazy.
A lot of the neighborhoods have changed safety-wise. And by the way, I have a QR code on the screen right now for you. Take out your phone, scan the QR code, it'll go directly to Chelsea for some special deals for you as well. You make the process so seamless when it comes to windows with a lot of interest-only programs. You make the payments very affordable for people, but sometimes people don't know what they're looking for. How does that design process work?
So, you know, once they give us a call and we set an appointment, we will set that time aside, that 60 to 90 minutes, to make sure that we can answer all their questions, that we can build those custom windows to the specs that they're looking for. Oftentimes they want maybe a black chic frame on the inside, but the HOA doesn't allow that. We can do two different colors, a black chic on the inside and a white, beautiful exterior window. No one else is doing that. And it just allows us to be not only set apart, but it allows that design consultant to give them advice on what's going on behind those windows. What do they really need to do and replace?
The absolute best in the business. Chelsea, thank you so much. Do yourself a favor. If you're a homeowner, visit Renewal by Andersen today. Welcome back to the show. As we discussed, a lot of us are feeling priced out of Orlando. And what do? Because the rental market, it stinks for renters. It's very, very expensive. So you can't buy, you can't really rent. what do you do? There's a beautiful city just north of here called Ocala, a beautiful county called Marion County, and the person who knows it best, Elisha Lopez, joins me, Ocala Realty World. Hi, Elisha, how are you?
Wonderful.
A lot of people are getting priced out. It seems like the prices are actually still going up even, and the interest rates have gone up, and it's really making home ownership unaffordable for some families. And Ocala, real estate is more affordable. How much more affordable is it?
It's still almost 40% more affordable.
40% less. So the same house is going to cost you 40% less in Ocala or Marion County, huh?
Yes.
And the people there are so nice, beautiful. I just think of the grass. I think of the horses and the horse farms. And again, just the friendly people. Describe the vibe in Ocala.
So the vibe, like you said, it is really laid back. You just don't even feel like you're in Florida. And coming from Miami, South Florida, big city, it's actually attracting a lot of people from the big cities like Orlando as well, because it's like it's different. Like, oh, we're still in Florida, but we feel like we're not in Florida.
Yeah, you're in the South. You feel like you're in a southern city when you're in Ocala. My daughters are both having a competition at WEC, the World Equestrian Center, in 2 weeks, actually. And I thought it was fascinating you brought up the other day. A lot of people are investing in real estate in Ocala and using them as Airbnb. How is that working for your clients?
It's so popular right now that I would say I get at least 3 to 4 calls a day.
Really?
Yes, on people, whether they're seasoned Airbnb investors or they're just getting started out on looking for a property. And it used to be they were looking for like the deal.
Yeah.
But now they're just looking for the property. It's not even the deal anymore. They're paying top dollar.
Is that right? What are they telling you about their rentals? Are the rentals working well? Are they renting them often?
Yes, and when there's events at the World Equestrian Center or different horse parks and things like that in Marion County, of course, they're more popular. So anything within 30 minutes of the World Equestrian Center is the most popular in any direction.
Yeah, whether it's buying a house for your family, buying an investment property, I highly recommend that you look into the Ocala and Marion County area. And there's one place to go, one person who's going to show you the best properties up there, a lot of pocket listings as well, and that is Elisha Lopez, Ocala Realty World. QR code is right here on the screen. All you have to do is take out your phone, scan the QR code, and that message will go directly to Elisha, or call the phone number on the screen, 407-205-0400. You are very experienced when it comes to real estate, obviously. You have a lot of agents that work there at your brokerage. Training for you is super important as well. I know you have a lot of people who seek out your training and your expertise. What kind of training do you do?
So we have a real estate school, so to get agents licensed first, and then we also have what we call teaching from the top, where they actually learn from myself and my husband. We don't sub that out. We don't hire anybody to train our agents, so they're getting his 30 years and my 24 years experience in the industry, and we're teaching how we do it, so the shortcuts, correct ones.
Yeah.
But that way the agents don't have to hit their head and get discouraged, because it's happening even more so now with the shifts in the market, that a lot of agents, they're like, what am I doing? Why did I even get into this? And it's all because they didn't get out the gate the right way to begin with.
I know you care about your agents and your clients so deeply. Thank you for joining us. You're doing a great job up in Ocala. And again, if you are looking for real estate, somewhere to live or somewhere to invest, Ocala, wonderful place right now. Thank you so much to our amazing crew. Thank you to our guest today. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.